And I look, I never done that before, I never win before. I have fire, I cannot breathe. It makes me almost cry. It's like months later that they saw us. I had been hiding that story for many years, and it felt very good to tell it tonight.
Welcome to Lottery Dreams and Fortune. So I am here with Helene, who won the lottery in the state of Florida in the United States. She won an extraordinary prize, $58 million in 1990. We are keeping her last name anonymous for the sake of this interview. Her story is incredible. Helene, how are you doing today?
I'm very good, Tim. Thank you for accepting me for the interview, because I did get in contact with you. I'd like to tell my story. I was a 24 years old young mom, and this is what happened to me. I start to have memories. I'm getting older, and I'm afraid the memories, the souvenir, all that will fade away. And I found on that channel, and I said, oh, great, I have to do it, because I don't want to write a book. I'm not that good on writing, or later one day. So Tim called, we get in touch and respond to me. And so is the night, the day, because it's evening, where I am at, and how it happened.
Yes, and you won this massive prize in Florida in 1990. But what exactly did you win? Which game was it?
That was the Florida lottery, and it was the first big jackpot at the time. The Florida lottery, the 6 numbers was fairly new. They had Cash 3, Fantasy 5, and the 4 number, I think it came later on. And so it was one of the biggest jackpot from the Florida lottery. And it was 53 million. The jackpot did go to 53 million that Saturday night. And other people who have played did go up to 58 million. And I'm ready to tell the story a little bit, how it happened.
Yes. So how did it happen?
That was the first time I was playing the 6 numbers. I had a twin sister, and she put a few years before, she was telling me, go play Cash Free, go play Fantasy 5. And once in a while I was a busy mom, and I had everything I needed. My ex-husband and I immigrate from overseas to Florida, and we had everything. I have everything I needed. But it was like a challenge I was doing with my sister. That was a game. Who's going to get the most numbers of what we are playing? I'm going back a little bit. How did I play for the first time the 6 numbers, the Florida lottery? So that night I was ready to go play Fantasy 5, I think. And my ex-husband was with my son in the garage. And I say, I'm going to Publix, and he say, but
which is
don't you
a grocery store? Yes,
it's a grocery store. Mm-hmm. And don't you have gone already earlier today? I say, yes, but I'm going to play Fantasy 5. And he put his eyes way down a little bit, and he looked at me and he say, do you need some money? And I said, no. Are you unhappy? I said, no. And he said, why are you going? I'm just like with my twin, we just having fun. From that time, so I did go, I came back. From that time, I didn't have the freedom to go play. I was like sneaking, and I wasn't telling him, because it was something for him. If somebody wants to play the lottery, it's because they need money. But I wasn't on that point. I was in competition with my twin sister to pull out numbers. We were not seeing the money. Maybe she was, but I wasn't. So that Saturday, I was home. I had friend, not my friend, my husband. I'm not going to say my ex-husband. I'm going to say because at the time was my husband. He has friend from childhood who was there with his wife and daughter. They were on vacation, and I was getting the dinner ready. It was like a London broil. I was putting like some oil on it and salt, and I have my hands full of oil thing. And I can hear them in the living room watching the TV. And the man who does not understand very well English, but a little bit, say, hey, to my husband, hey, Marcel, let's go play. And he said, no, I don't know. He said, look, it's like 53 millions. He said, no, but ask Helene. She plays. And all that was in French. And I caught it. And I was already like kind of happy because I didn't need to hide. And I can hear the man coming, and he say, "Are you going to play?" I say, "Yes, I heard you, of course." So I was already drying, cleaning my hands and everything, put everything on hold in the kitchen, and we were in like vacation, my bathing suit on, and I did go in the bedroom and put like a quick t-shirt on the top of my bathing suit where I did very quick my hair like that, changed my shoes, put like quick tennis shoes. And when I come back in the living room, nobody was there. Nobody was there in the living room, but who was standing here? Buddha. We had like a Buddha. And I'm like somebody's going to
a statue of Buddha?
A statue standing Buddha. It's in one piece, and as tall as a human. Anyway, so I stand on the base, and deep with my heart, I did like a cheek kiss, and I say, "Wish me good luck." And I hold on the shoulder, and I told him, "Wish me good luck."
And you kissed it.
On the like French, how we do,
yes.
La bise on the cheek, but just one. And because I wanted somebody to wish me good luck. And I was so happy because I didn't need to sneak, it was like freedom. After I kissed Buddha, I did go, I could hear them, they were on the basement. And so I go down and they were talking to each other, and I was ready, and I say, okay, I'm ready. And I ready to step in my van. And he say, what are you doing? I say, well, I found you there, I go there, and then I explain to you if you need guidance. All that was in French. So he said, no, look, let's take my car. My car didn't have AC, but his was a rental car, has AC. So I did go in the car with him, and we took off slowly, and he asked me how much the people they play. I don't know. And when I was ready to tell him, I have $10 in my purse, and there's a music on the radio, and I say, hey, did you hear that music? Listen. And I put the music a little bit louder, and he said, no, what? I said, listen that music. It's the song, they say, I want to be rich. So it's a song from Callaway. At the time, it was like a song you can hear on the radio. And say, what that mean? He said, he's talking about winning lottery and want to be rich. That's some words, I did not understand all the song, but I could understand some of it. I want to be rich. I don't mind a lot of money. That I understood. And so he didn't care. He said, oh, okay. And so I keep answering his question. I have $10. I will play my $10. And it was a traffic light, and we turned and we arrived there. It was raining. And I say, if you want, I know there's a lot of people. There's a line, because I know there's always a line when there's like a jackpot like that. If you want, you can drop me off and park the car, take your time, and I will save the spot on the line for you. And this is what he did. He dropped me off, and the panels, I mark my panels. I knew Jean was parking, I have some time. It was around 6:45, something like that. Not quite at 7 p.m. And when I took the pen to mark the little crayon,
marking the numbers for the lottery with the pen.
First, I was looking the panel, and I could see almost like in bold the one I was marking. I didn't know which one to choose, but my eyes were catching the bold one. So I marked, like there's a force behind me.
Go ahead.
A force behind me who was guiding me to mark, but they were random. They were not birthdays. No. And I did the 10 like that. And I just marked them. We say in French, by random or pif, just mark them, tuck, 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 tuck. But I could see, I could not really see if it was like 14 or 29. I wasn't even reading the number, but the number was like bold, was darker, stand out from the other numbers.
So you were choosing the numbers and you couldn't really see them very clearly, but they stuck out in bold, like you were being guided.
Yes, mentioned. I didn't choose them. I just marked them, just in random. The one they were pop out, and matter in fact, in the 10 other, on the 9 other ticket, there were like 4 others who had winning numbers on that. So there is Jean, he's coming. So I took some panel for him, and I explained to him. So he gets on the line, because we were together. People were doing that, they didn't mind. And he's a man who I saw on the internet, that man has passed in 2020. That man has a soul on his shoes, so he was kind of walking,
Now this is a lottery. This is another person that won, or this is another player?
That's Jean. Jean, who was driving with me. I take him, in front of me, for that he doesn't have to make the line, because I was saving the line for him. I took the ticket, the panels for him, and he picked up his number. Behind us, there is 2 tall men. They say, look at her. My hair were like, my hair, I was on the pool earlier, that afternoon.
Your hair was poofy?
Yeah, not okay. Groomed, nothing.
Yes.
And they say, look at her, and they look at me like that. She's the one who's gonna win. We are gonna hear from her.
They told you this in line.
Yes. So I look at them and I say, and I did. And Jean asked me, where was he? Understood those 2 men were talking to me, and he said, what did they say? They say, I'm the one who's gonna win. This is those 2 men. So maybe if they listen to the interview, they're gonna remember those. Anyway, so I let him pass, or I pass. I don't remember if I pay first or he paid first. You see, we forgot. with the time, we forgot certain things. And then we get our ticket and we head back home. And what happened that night, I took on my tickets on my purse, put it on a drawer in the kitchen where usually I put my purse. And I put out my purse, I put out all the ticket, took a paper, and I wrote down the 6 numbers on 10 lines, because at the time it was one ticket per, they didn't put all the 10.
So there weren't multiple tickets then? You had one ticket per
No,
sheet?
they were multiple tickets. They were.
Oh.
It wasn't one ticket with all the numbers on it. It was 10 tickets.
10 tickets. Okay.
Yes. Mm-hmm. And each time I was writing, when I finished the line, I turn off and I look and it says to sign. And I sign. I never done that before. I never win before. That was the first time I was playing the 6 numbers, and I never won before the Fantasy 5. Or I probably won a few bucks, pay my ticket for the tickets, but never really like a lot of money. And I hide the pile of the 10 they were falling to, and I hide them in my purse. I had like hiding pockets, on the purse. I had them, and I kept only the paper with all the numbers on it with a pen. And while they were in the living room, I lift up, like a thing where there's the light on it, and I put the paper on it and the pen. Ready that the drawing goes, to take the paper and the pen to write down the drawing numbers. And the time arrived, there is some news about the lottery. They announced that the jackpot so many people have played that the jackpot passed from 53 millions to 55 millions. So it did go, they knew at that time it was up to 55. So they were just hanging on the 11 p.m., the drawing at 11 p.m. And then I sat down with them. My kitchen was clean, kids were sleeping. The time of the drawing arrived, and I took the paper. Jean was on the armchair, almost facing me, my husband beside me. And I passed behind his shoulder, his back, to grab the paper. And he said, "What are you doing?" I said, "Well, I'm going to write down those numbers, isn't it?" In French. Oh, yeah. So, and when the balls comes out, I wrote down the numbers, and I have all my numbers aligned. So they were observing me. And finally, I have that piece of paper, and I start to match, on the 10 lines, I circle, like 3, the number 3. I had it on several lines. And then it was like 30. So I circle the 30. And
this
then
is as the drawing is happening?
The drawing was passed. I wrote down the numbers on the top of that paper that I wrote down all my numbers from the 10 tickets. So I had 10 lines. There is one line, I don't remember if it was the 6th line, but I had like four numbers circled. And I looked the top one, and I looked the bottom, and I realized they were all there. But I didn't circle them. And I had that fire on my chest. And Jean were like, he observed, they were observing me, and they say, so what? And can you see? I can breathe. I have fire. I cannot breathe. It made me almost cry. And they were looking at me and they said, oh, she's joking. And I was speechless. I couldn't. I realized, because I know I didn't do any mistake. I know I wrote down right. I double checked, several times to make sure. And I took I was very close, almost tonight. And I said, don't you see that I need some oxygen? And my husband Gregory said, give me that. And he took the paper and he looked at it. And he said, yeah, it sounds like you have all the numbers. So Jean said, oh, see. And then he's like, but where are the tickets? So I get up. At that time, I was like a zombie. I think people know what it is. I had the shake. I was in shock. And I was like a zombie.
You were shaking?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't showing it, but I had the shake.
Mm-hmm.
When you're in shock, when you almost had an accident, you avoid at the last minute the accident, you have that.
Adrenaline?
Yes, but the body is kind of shaking.
Mm.
So I get up, I go in the kitchen. I could barely, if I had somebody who I can put my hand on the shoulder, will have been good. But no, I was all by myself, and they were following me. So they saw me where I was hiding my purse. I have to put out the thing where I hide my purse, because in case if a thief comes home, they will never know I was hiding there. They could have found plenty of things in front, but my purse really was hiding. Anyway, and something, I have to unzip to pull out all the tickets. And finally, my husband took hold of all the tickets. He found the good one. From that day, at that time, that's the last time I touched my ticket for safety. Okay, my ex-husband is 25 years older, a businessman at the time he's retired now. And for safety, he's not going to leave it to me. Anyway, and then he started to call. He called a friend who wasn't too far away. Sorry to disturb you. Do you have the lotto numbers? And I guess the person answered. He was a dentist. So Marcel said, well, thank you. I get in touch with you later. And then he called another friend. That one is French. That was his buddy. They used to go scuba diving together. And the guy lived, 10 minutes away. He took 5 minutes to come over. He comes and he said, Bernard, I think Helene won. Oh shit! Yes, I think Helene won. I think we won. And the Helene start to change to we. We won. And not even 10 minutes. It was 11 p.m. But the guy could speed on the road, Nobody was on the road. Instead to take 10 minutes, he took like 5 minutes. At 5 minutes, he was on the door. So he comes in and he looks the ticket with all the numbers. And yes, we call you. You have the number. Look, there. So Bernard took the number and he flipped. And he said, you know what? She signed it. It's hers. My ex-husband started to have and then he took all the ticket and he disappeared. Marcel, my husband, disappeared in the bedroom for a few minutes.
With the ticket?
So, yes, with all the ticket for safety, we did go hiding. Mm-hmm. Like I told you, the moment he had the proof, after he called the first friend and waiting that, he hold the ticket in his hand. That's the last time I had the ticket on the hand. I saw it later on with attorneys, that nobody protected me. I wasn't protected three, four attorneys, none protected me. Anyway, that will come later. And that's not for tonight. And the thing, he hired the ticket, and so everybody did go on their way. Bernard say good night, catch you later. And Annie came out from the bedroom because she heard, she talked to me, and she said, Helene, and of course Jean did tell her, Helene has she has the sixth number, Helene won. And she came to me and she said, before you did go play, I did go on the mirror, and she asked on the mirror, they call it a marabout, I think, in French. They are some spiritual African people, marabout. They take the curry, the shell, and they through the curry, and they can read cards, but they're not cards, they shells, the curry shell. She said that she had a marabout. That's the name we gave to that. She gave to that man when she left Africa many years ago. The marabout said, anything, if you need one day, just call me. Go in the mirror and call for me. So she told me that story. She said, I call her marabout, for us to win. So she told me that.
Before the
drawing?
A
lot of spooky things. Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, a lot of spooky things happened that night. The Buddha, first the freedom for me to go, the Buddha, the music on the road, the numbers who were like, stand out. That Mark, and the marabout story. Everybody, Annie did go to bed to sleep. At least we tried. And of course, Marcel and I, we could not fall in sleep until like 4 a.m. Toss around and you talk. He says, you can have almost everything you wanted. And I say, I want a red Porsche. And he say, what? A Porsche? You? At 24 years old? What you going to have when you will be 40? Well, I was a good girl, so I didn't say. I never had my Porsche. But when we divorced, he got his, Anyway, I'm just throwing some little things for the coming up.
Yes.
And the Sunday was he was talking with his friend Jean. The Monday we did go to the bank, put the ticket on the safe. Then he took an appointment with attorneys, and if they listen, they know they did not protect me. And the Florida lottery probably changed the rules about it. The attorneys make a trust agreement. I was trust A. That Marcel say, you trust A. That's how I say now. But I was so naive. I didn't know nothing. The guy know me. I was 19 years old, and he was like when I met him, I was 19 and he was 43, going 44, and so later on. After the divorce, there is a friend of mine. He says, yeah, that's an expression in English. He had you under the thumb. That's an expression. Yeah.
No, under your thumb.
Yes.
Yes, he had you under your thumb. You had already signed the ticket, but you were, I assume you had to be there to claim it, too?
Yes, we did go. The thing, he take an appointment with the attorney, they get in touch with the Florida lottery, and with all my heart, I want to give the half to him. He was my husband. I loved him.
Okay.
Yes, He was my husband. I loved him, and there's nothing wrong with that. I trusted him. So the attorney set up the trust agreement, that they put me trust A, that my ex-husband make me believe it was something good, be trust A. And he was trust B, but he was a trustee. He was a trustee. And the duty, the
of
trustee,
your trust?
Yes. He has the duty when the money arrived. We didn't take the lump sum. We took the annually.
The annuity, okay, which was the payment over a period of years.
20 years. So the Monday we learned that did go up to 58 million, the jackpot, and we were five winners.
And 5 different tickets won. And you had one of them. Is that correct? Yeah.
Yes. So the 58 million did end up to 11 million each.
Wow.
Yes.
Did you meet any of the other winners?
Never. No. Maybe we cross each other on the road. Anyway, so we did go in Tallahassee, with a trust agreement. The picture, famous pictures. We did go back. So they have an argument with Marcel, Jean, Annie, and Caroline. He told them that they can go on vacation in the Keys, and like that we can take care, the attorneys, and go in Tallahassee, claim and then and when they came back, they have to go back to their vacation. We're finished, and something happened between those two. They say to each other that if one of the other win, they will split. And I never knew that. It's like months later that they sue us. They sue us for the half. But I never knew they did that. You remember when I kissed the Buddha? This is what's going on in the garage, in the basement. They were talking about that. You cannot use me like I'm a thing. I'm a person. They never talk to me anything. That did go in court, by the way.
Went to court. Okay.
That it. There are several court
and what happened with that?
That was for another night, another day.
For another night, for part 2 of this interview. Okay.
Yes. Well, and then, so we did go in Tallahassee, claim. I know my husband was very protective with my son. I know he did not want me to hold him. Very, very little when he was busy. But when there's people around, he was always showing himself with the baby, My twin sister came because she was there. She was helping me with the babysitting. And the thing, the Jean and Annie and Caroline, they did go back to France. And we received a few weeks later, a couple of weeks, maybe a month later, we received the first, payment. And
how did they pay you in that time? Was it a check?
We had the check for advertising, like you've seen many of those. It was a wire.
A wire, okay.
A transfer bank wire. That's how we say it. Every year for 20 years, there is a wire transfer bank wire, I think we say it. I don't say any numbers, but if you're smart, you take a calculator and you divide in 20 years. The IRS, before it's sent from Tallahassee, they removed 24%.
For federal tax?
Yes. They removed 24%. And our lives hasn't changed that much because we already had a nice house, 2 boats, nice cars. We just upscales, the material. And yes, we built another bigger house. I had 2 more children. That did allow me to have 2 more children. I was like, God, give me money to have more children. Anyway.
So you built a house, and is that primarily what you did with it?
Another house, bigger than the one we had.
And why did you choose the annuity?
And when it comes down to that point, I'm not the one who chose all that. He did. Marcel did. I had no control of nothing. Remember? Got me under the thumb?
Under the thumb, yes.
Yeah.
And you were 19?
No, I was 24.
24. So you were...
I met my ex-husband. I was 19.
When you met, and then you were 24 when you won.
Yes. And I had my son, Mark, that's his first name. He was 2 years and a half in 1990. So he's on the picture of the big check, little toddler boy. Anyway, so my older sister told me, remember, tell that. A few days later, so that evening, the 24th, that was in April 1990, and that was a Saturday. And of course, as soon as I could, I contact my twin to tell her. That was the first person who knew. Even if my husband told me, don't tell anyone, but he was the one who tell already to 2 people, the first moment. And a few days later, I called my older sister in France. And so I told her, and I explained to her, because we did go in Tallahassee on a Monday, April 16, and it was on a Tuesday, April 17th, on the newspaper. Between that week, before it shows on the newspaper, I was explaining to my older sister, and I say, when I go in town, if it's for pharmacy or do the grocery, sometime I hear people who talk about it, and I go close to them, and they don't know it's me who won. I was like the anonymous, and I wasn't doing grocery more than the other days, so nothing could be noticed. A cashier could have noticed, oh gosh, that's jackpot today, if I fill out my cart.
So
no.
Yeah, how did that feel? Because that was the largest jackpot at the time for the state of Florida, and you received all this publicity. How did that feel to hear people talking about that, or to be on the front page of the newspaper?
The people were talking about a couple times, not the same day, but during that week, a couple times I heard, and I was explaining that to my older sister, that I'm still anonymous, and they don't know I'm the one who won, and I could hear the conversation. And my older sister said, mention that on your interview, tell that you call me, and it did ring me a bell, but I did forgot about it. After, when we were on the newspaper, well, we were hiding.
You were hiding?
Wasn't.
Okay.
Yeah, I was like, make myself very small, I didn't want that not people who were around us that we knew, of course not. They were happy for us. I know a neighbor down the road, ready to, there is a person with a bicycle, a guy with a bicycle was coming quick for me to hit him.
Oh, he tried to get you to hit him?
Yes. Several times.
Because he wanted money?
Something like that, yes.
Oh, that's terrible.
Yeah. Several times. I'm like, what the? it's always the same. No, it's not the same time. How come this guy comes out at the same time I back up the car or I go with the car? And he tried really like no, but I drive safe, okay? And when you come out from a driveway, you don't go that fast, you just like in first gear and be careful. And that's, yes. That's something who did mocked me on that street.
Yeah, that's terrible. Yeah, and you had to claim the prize publicly?
Yes.
Probably? Yeah. Wow.
We did not really like that very much, but after a few weeks, people forgot. But many years later, I had scam people who tried to get in touch with me. And of course, I know what it is, a scam. I mean, a lot of people get scammed. You don't need to be a winner, Florida lottery winner, to be scammed. But I thought it was pretty big.
They were purposefully coming after you because you had won the lottery, though?
I think so, yes. Yeah.
Wow.
I was wondering, I have a question for you.
Yes.
Is a research who has been done, that's something I was thinking, if the blood type, if we can know of all the winners, their blood type, if there is kind of a connection. I was very curious.
That's really interesting. I've never even thought to ask that about lottery winners, what their blood type is. I honestly don't know, but it's interesting. Do you think there might be something to that?
Proportionally, it should have a lot of positive because that's a majority. And that's the thing will be interesting. I'm very curious. What will be the blood type? The other question is my grandmother, my dad's mom, many years ago, apparently she won. She won like something big in France.
Oh, like a major prize?
Yes. So is it like an heritage that the people who won? Yes.
Well, that's an interesting question. If it's genetic, I don't know. I've had people in my family that were older than me, generations older, that were very lucky. So I don't know. It's a good question.
And twins. How many twins have won? I'm curious. Because some twins die at birth.
Yeah. That's a really, really interesting question. I honestly, you're the first twin that I've interviewed that has won the lottery, so I'm not quite sure. It's a good question, though. What do you think of, you had a lot of synchronicities and interesting things happen to you before you won, including turning on the radio and hearing this music. You kissed the Buddha statue and said, wish me good luck. And then you felt as if you were being guided when you were picking the numbers. So now, in retrospect, looking back, what do you think was happening exactly with that? How is that possible?
At the time, I did not realize it. It's afterwards that when I put all the fact, what happened, I'm like, oh my gosh, yeah. And the story of the Buddha, yes, my husband said, don't talk about that Buddha. Somebody's gonna break the house to come to get that Buddha. If Buddha is still there, I'm not gonna get the address. Everyone's gonna want to have that Buddha.
What happened to the Buddha?
It's still there. It's still standing strong. I don't think so. I did win somebody else, but hey, he's still there. He's still around. Something the difference I have with my twin sister and my older sister, when we were kids, I had some event, spooky event. We were like 7 years old, and we were on the lagoon. We were in Africa, in the lagoon. We have the water to here, and I have my twin sister and my older sister, and we were jumping in the water, and I could see the beach there. My mom was tanning, friends of my mom, the woman, they were tanning, they were just sunbath. And in a sudden, I stop, and I say, snake behind my right shoulder. I have a snake behind my... And they look like that. Snake, serpent. And we were screaming. Everybody got up on the thing is, I never look on the back. My older sister's witness. My twins has passed. My twin sister has passed away in July 14th, 2013. July 14th is the Independence Day. So Independence Day for me in France is it's the date, anniversary of my twin sister.
I'm sorry for your loss.
I'm getting better by the year. The thing is, other things happen. I always wanted to fly also. And my older sister, one day, she saved me. I took a big umbrella from my dad. We had a house with
an umbrella. Okay.
Yes. And I was ready to jump. And she held me there.
Off the house with the umbrella, you were going to jump.
I was like, I don't know, 6, 7. And she held me there. And she said, I had a weird spooky. So is it like, those people who won lottery? I don't know. Those people like who has those spooky things.
And then in the lagoon, when you were with your sister, there was the
snake behind me. I sensed it and did not turn my head. We were like, no, I sensed it. It was like a few feet away, and I say snake behind my right shoulder.
Oh, just because you sensed it.
Yes, I sensed it.
So it was like your intuition or your ESP type, like tapping in, like sensing something that's outside of you.
I've been watching your videos, and there's one with Joey Gallenberger, whatever his name is.
Yes, Dr. Joe Gallenberger, yes.
He mentioned certain things, and it's matching the event that I live, like the freedom, I didn't have like the corruption of, I use the name corruption, but some other people use of a name, other way to explain it. I was like happy, not hiding, free. Yes, everything was right that day. That's
yeah, and you were happy, and you didn't feel restricted you felt free to play because of your husband. Is that
yes. He said, yeah, Helene, she knows that she plays, and ask her. And lately, I've been trying to see if I can put out some numbers, and there is always one. I wish I can see 6, 7 of them, but if I see that one, I know that one will come out. And I've been talking to my son, and I say, I told him, and they came out. Yes, because there's a big billion game in the Powerball right now in Unity.
Yeah, as of the recording of this interview, there's a record jackpot that's at the moment it's well above $1 billion. So with the Powerball in the United States, so it happens every so often.
It's a lot of money. I think there is like a time for somebody. I don't want him to go think, no, there is something else that I have sense. There's something about his time, and that's not. I can give him numbers that that won't be. It has to be a certain time. And I think everybody has a time because the universe has everything for you. Maybe you passed it, or maybe it's going to happen. Or if it passed, maybe it will come back. The universe has everything. If you have done out-body experiences. I was doing out-body experiences when I was a child. And that's why I always wanted to fly. And when that day my older sister held me, it woke me up. It woke me up. I was confusing the night and the day. I remember when my dad receiving a box with supply, and there is foam, So I was taking the foam and I was holding it. And I take the wind. There's like a few stairs from the patio to go on the grass. And when the wind started, I was like running and I wanted to fly. And I wasn't watching TV or things, very little TV. They were black and white TV at the time, by the way. It was in Africa. The thing is, I wasn't making too much difference between the day and the night, between the night and the day, because at night I was, like the universe is 100,000 information who comes to you, Yeah. Anyway, we're changing subject about the lottery, so.
Yes, but yeah, it's very, very interesting though. That's very intriguing. I've had a lot of dreams that I felt as if I went out of my body as well, and I've interviewed people that are very much into that, as well as scientists that study that sort of thing. So it's very, very intriguing. Do you think that your lottery win, because you had all these things happen prior to it happening and as you were choosing the numbers, do you think that that's something that was fate, or do you think that was something that was created through the connection to
like creative? I think there's a higher power somewhere. Like they choose me. There's something, and there's like something's going on. Some people might be fate, but me, I felt it was like, they're playing game and they're guiding you. I sensed that. I could be wrong, A psychiatric say, hey, she's nuts. No, it's just random. But that's what this is what I have sense. Afterwards, not at the moment. At the moment, I was just living the moment. Yeah.
Well, that's incredible. What advice would you give to someone that wins the lottery tomorrow?
Oh, stay alert. Stay alert. Be awake. Watch your step. Not necessarily have help of others. You can do it by yourself. You can do it by yourself with the state, who's going to deliver. They can help you. They can guide you. You can you can deal with them. Of course, we need to express ourselves. Of course, you're gonna have like a best friend or sister or mother or a child or somebody you're gonna want to tell to. It's make sure that's the right person to choose the right person to tell. Like you need to express yourself, of course. I have been hiding that story for many years, and it felt very good to tell it tonight.
Oh, well, I'm so great. I'm so grateful for you to come onto this program and to share your experience. It's very unique to live that, and it's a huge life-changing thing. So I'm so happy that you're here to share your experience today.
I think everybody has their own experience, their own unique stories. And it's great that we can share. I love your channel, and I'm sure all the others, they really love the channel too. Listen to the story. It's like you're an artist.
Oh,
sorry.
Thank you very much, Helene. That means a lot. I really appreciate that.
When you are an artist, you go to see the art of the others. Well, our story, we're going to listen the story of the others. Yeah, it was. I feel so good. It felt great when I learned that I will be doing the interview with you. It was like, oh my gosh. Finally, I'm going to say it.
Oh, well, thank you so much. And there's so many more questions and things I'd love to learn about your story. So hopefully we can have you back another time. But for today, is there anything else that you wanted to talk about with your story or mention that I didn't ask or that you just wanted to say?
That will be it. This is it. That was the day, a little bit of story before and the day, day. Yes.
Okay. Well, it's an incredible story, and I really, really appreciate your time today, Helene. Thank you so much.
And thank you. You are like an angel, that we can express ourselves for the one who wants to move forward, to talk to you, to your channel. I think it's excellent. It's really characteristic of those winners, and it feels good.
Oh, well, yes. Thank you. Thank you very much. That means a lot. Thank you very much.
Yes, and thank you. It's like Sawadika, in Thailand. Yes, thank you. And goodbye, everybody, and good luck. Cheers. Bye.
And then I close my eyes again, and I hear the voice again, buy the ticket. And I get up from church, and the first thing I did, I buy the ticket, and I won the lottery.
So you heard the voice, and then you followed the voice, and then you won.
Yeah. It's like that.